Yes, very good evening to all of you, my friends. Thank you for logging to this webinar. At the outset, I would like to thank each one of you for logging. Friends, I have developed a few utilities. I've uploaded the same on the website also. The same are available at abhishekdhamne.com in the professional tools. A lot of utilities you can find. I've been visiting various cities, making them understand the importance of the utilities. So the feedback from you, whatever I have got, is really wonderful, and I really appreciate for the feedback. Some of the suggestions also you have given, uh, they are of utmost importance to us, and we have made some changes also. We are uploading various versions, also advanced versions on uh, the website. So friends, the why the preparation of utility and why this idea was thought. First was that I am a peer reviewer since last 15 years. I'm into practicing and I'm a practicing chartered accountant. So when I go to various firms, I understand there is a lot of problem with regards to documentation. Uniformity is not there. uh, of course, there is no compromise on the effort, but the documentation, the levels which are expected are not up to the mark. So I thought, why not to bring all the CA firms to a sort of one platform and bring the awareness in form of uniformity for also the standards of the documentation can how it can be increased. That's why this initiative I have taken. Last year also, few utilities and publication I had published, and this is the second year, and uh, the response is fabulous. So, friends, we would be discussing today three utilities. First utility is utility on 43BH. As you are aware, this is the most the discussed topic in any chartered accountant's office as of now. So I will not be going to the provisions of 43BH. All you all are aware about the provisions of 43BH. I wanted to make you aware that as responsible, the responsibility of the chartered accountant is to analyze the data, receive the collection of the data, then analyze it, and then draw your conclusions for reporting. So for details of 43BH, you can refer my website www.abhishekdhamne.com. In that professional tools, you will find my presentations is also available there. So from that, you can understand the provisions. You can also share those slides with your uh, the office staff members so that they can also help you out in compiling the data. What I'm going to discuss is today the first utility about the 43BH reporting tool. Friends, as you are aware, immense responsibility has been cast on the chartered accountant for this clause. The clause is very simple. We have to report in the clause 22 of tax audit report. So give me a moment. I'll share that slide, share the screen with you. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you. Uh, Friends, this utility is itself inbuilt utility for all the uh, uh, entire reporting you can do from this reporting. So you can see here uh, name of the firm. You can add your name, firm's name. So you can say your firm name is ABC. You want to change the firm name to your firm name. Let us say you want to add PQR as your firm name, PQR Chartered Accountants Private Limited. Name of the client is ABC XYZ. We can write here ABC Services Private Limited. So this sheet you can send the vendor master sheet and the section 43BH working sheet. Both these sheets you can share with your client. Take the data, compile the data from your client, and then go for reporting of 3CD and 3CA, 3CB. So I'll explain you what this sheet is about. So firstly, you can see the name of the parties are there, closing balance, type of dealer, whether it is registered as MSME, classification of entity, Udyam registration number, whether the certificate has been received or not, and when the last Udyam registration was uploaded or updated. So in this, you can see, you can enter the name of the enterprise here, like Shruti Enterprises, I have entered, then Manmat Consulting, all sort of when name of the vendors you can enter. Your vendors have the closing balance. They may have, they may not have the closing balance. So accordingly, the option is given to you. Then based on the type of dealer, you can select which type of dealer it is. So whether it is a manufacturer, there is a drop down given to you, whether that vendor is a manufacturer or a service provider or a trader or a wholesale retailer. So if you can see, if I mark that vendor as a wholesaler and retailer, the MSME, the whether it is eligible for 43BH, it automatically get ineligible because the the traders and wholesalers are not eligible to get benefits of 43BH, or no, they are not entitled for the benefits of MSMED. They're just being notified for to avail the priority sector lending. So further, you can mention whether that registered or not. Yes or no, you have to mention. Then, if yes, then which category it is registered under. So small, medium, then micro also is there. So based on that, you can select. So even if you see micro, a medium entity is there, so automatically the applicability of 43BH will get changed here. It will not be applicable. So further, Udyam registration number is also there, which you can update. Then Udyam registration certificate, whether your client has received that certificate or you are vouching the details from the invoice, purchase order or sales order, whatever details you communication you are entering these details from which communication. For this column is there. Then last column, then whether the last when the last Udyam registration was updated. This is also very important because there has been very lot of cases where transition from the micro to small, small to medium, and it is happening. So when the transition is happening, maybe medium enterprises they are not eligible to claim the benefits under MSMED. So you can change the accordingly. You can make sure that the vendors who are eligible, they are only being benefited from this section. That's why this column of last Udyam registration updated is also there. So you can add all your vendors here. We have given column of up to 5,000 vendors you can add here. So based on that, this will be your vendor master sheet. Then going further to 43BH working, the next sheet contains about details of eligible party. For example, this Ketki Trading Company, which is not eligible to get benefit of 43BH, and they are trader and wholesaler, so they are not eligible under this section. So that name will not be reflecting in the drop down over here. You can see. So only the eligible parties will be carried forward to this next sheet, that is 43BH working sheet. In that you can enter customer wise multiple times. For example, Shruti Enterprises is having uh, 2 or 3 or 10 invoices which are paid on time, which are not paid on time, maybe. So based on that, you can enter that name of the vendor multiple times also. There is no problem in that. Then date of invoice you have to add. Then invoice number, invoice amount which has been debited to P&L, you have to mention over here. This is very important because the companies who are not taking the ITC, the assessees who are not taking input tax credit, so the entire amount including the input tax credit, will go to this column number E. Then if you see whether the agreement is entered or not, this is very important, because that if the agreement is entered, so the maximum period can be 45 days or the credit period. If the agreement is not entered, then maximum credit period is 15 days. So based on that, this credit period will also get auto populated. You don't have to worry on that. Uh, then the due date will also be calculated. Based on that date of payment, you have to enter. The delay will be calculated. The interest rate, interest calculation is based on the bank rate, 3 times the bank rate. We have assumed RBI repo rate as base rate here, 6.5 into 3 times. That has to be also compounded every 30 days, not simple interest provision is there. So compounded every 30 days provision is there. So based on that, interest calculation will be done. And disallowance will also be calculated. For example, if you see the due date was in the first example, 25th of November 2023 was the due date, and you are now making the payment on 31st of May 2024. That is after the end of 31st March 2024. So this party is eligible for disallowance as rupees 1 lakh. So invoice entire in 1 lakh invoice will be disallowed as per the calculation. Friends, what we have considered here is we have in first sheet we have considered 5,000 row items as number of vendors, and in this also we have considered 20,000 vendors, that 20,000 line items you can have for those 5,000 vendors. So we have given ample working space for you. If we try to add more, then the working of the sheet is getting little slower. That's why we are not adding other more parties to that. Then if you see, friends, vendor master sheet and 43BH working, this working is completely as like auto generation is also there in this for calculation of 43BH and calculation of interest. You can send this sheet to your client, get this yellow column filled in. We have mentioned here data input in yellow fields only. You can ask your client to get at least this filled in. Then your work for verification of 43BH will start here. So if you see column N, in that now you can do the sample selection, whether you want to select this party for your verification, whether you want to do 100%, whether you want to do 70% test check, 80% test check, based on the your audit experience, based on your professional skepticism, you can select that column accordingly. You verify the communication documentation and do the entire working. Then this 3CD dashboard will be auto-populated for you. What it says about, if you see here, we have calculated interest of 29,844 and disallowance of 3,55,000 in the original sheet. And then in this sheet, you can get the reporting, whatever required reporting is there in 3CD, that is clause 22, point number A and point number B. Amount of interest inadmissible under section 23 of MSMED Act, 29,000 will be disallowed in the under section 37(1). You have to report here, and under section 43BH, 3,55,000 will be disallowed. So this is your reporting column for 3CD, and the below column is your impact on computation of total income. Friends, this is very important that who has prepared the data, who has reviewed the data, this audit documentation shall be with you for years to come, because majority of the times that data who has compiled, who has prepared, who has reviewed, these details are not there. So maybe you can, I have given you the columns itself there, so you can take benefit of that and do the accordingly documentation. Then we will move on to the fourth sheet, where it calls about 3CA and 3CB dashboard. So first we have seen the 3CD. Now, whatever is the applicability to your client, 3CA, 3CB, accordingly, you will report based on the sample. In our example, we have selected 7 parties, 7 trade payables were there in totality. Outstanding amount to them was 7,75,000 rupees. Out of that, 43 BH applicable was to the 6 parties. Uh, and you have selected the sample of 4 parties. So based on that, you have number of parties, you have selected 67 parties, you have selected 67%. And based on the value, you have selected 63%. So you use your professional experience and to the extent which you wish to uh, carry it while carrying out the audit. Based on that, then after the result of the sample you can take, then in that the interest calculated in the books of accounts, you can put here that we have assumed here 25,000 is provided by the assessee, and interest calculated as per our working is 29,000. So based on that, if there is any difference, you will report accordingly to your 3CD. And also the disallowance of 43 BH, as we have discussed, it has to be agreed by the client itself. So there cannot be any difference in this column, as per my opinion is there. So we have also given you the various scenarios in which you have to report based on the result of your analysis of 3CD, the 43 BH analysis. So in scenario 1, we will assume that you have carried out 100% test check. The entire mechanism for disallowance of 43 BH and interest provision exists at the assessee level, and you have verified that also. So that is a very hypothetical and rare situation. In that situation, you will not modify your opinion. You will give unmodified opinion, and for that, no comments are required. This is the scenario 1. Scenario 2, where you will give a rider that we have verified on the sample basis as per the guidelines of ICAI, and we have not verified 100%. So based on that, our reporting is subject to the correctness of the classification declaration so received by the SEC. Based on that, our reporting is there. Subject to that, our report is true and fair. This is what you will report when 100% verification is not done. Friends, you can also add or delete and give appropriate comments. This is not anything given by me or the ICI. It is based on my experience, I have written this note. So you can edit or change based on yourself. But the scenarios will be more or less same. It will not change because the possibilities, only 4 possibilities can be there. Friends, in our example, we have seen that there is a difference between 4 interest provided in the books and interest calculated by our utility of 4844. So in that, so this example belongs to the C category, C scenario, where reporting of the interest is where auditor and assessee is not in on the same page. So there is a difference. So you can report that with the rider that we have verified on the test check basis as per the guidelines by ICAI. You are not giving 100% test check, and based on that, it is subject to the correctness classification and declaration received, and the interest so provided by the SSE is short, or SSE has not provided the interest. So you can, based on that, you can give this comment. I would say this is a modified with a adverse opinion which you are giving here. And the D option, D is giving a disclaimer that you have not received any documentation. There is no party-wise classification of MSME. There is no mechanism exist at assessee level. So you are disclaiming your audit report in that this is what you are reporting through your disclaimer opinion. So this is 43 BH utility. It all tells about. So I have tried my best to give you a uniform format to give your client a format for compiling the data that you and your team can use, and there can be uniformity across all your clients while calculating the interest as well as the disallowance under section 43BH. So this is uh, about all about 43BH, friends. So we will move to the next uh, we will move to the next slide, where we will uh, discuss about the second utility. Second utility is, I hope I'm not too fast or not too slow explaining you this utility. If you have any other questions, you can please give it in writing so that we can get back to you with the answers. So moving on to the second utility, which is about tax audit only. Tax audit under section 44AB, what you are carrying out is very uh, has is now uh, generally there is a lot of documentation problems are there. Clients are not assessees are the chartered accountant firms are not keeping the document. There is no uniformity. For example, you have 5 clients of say A, B, C, D, E. 5 clients are there. So if you take out any file, whether the similar documents are maintained for all other 4 clients also. So whether some SOPs are not there. So all these problems are existing in any small and medium practicing firm. To overcome that, what we have derived here is a smart utility, documentation utility, where you need to just uh, take the documentation properly, uh, give the data entry, and accordingly you can maintain the uniform documentation. So also there is a clarity amongst your staff members, like I have to collect 10 number of documents, 12 number of documents for completing when I call the audit is complete. So based on that, you will be focusing more on the reporting part, rather wasting your time on compilation of the documents, or uh, searching who has prepared, when this document was received, why it has been reported like that. So all these things come up, and to overcome that, we have developed this utility. This utility is in front of you. In that, what we have provided here is, say this is a PQR company. So I'll rename this name of the company. You can rename that from the data entry. So name of the client is PQR. I'll rewrite here as Smart Manufacturing Smart Tools Manufacturing Company, and the name of the firm is, I have given here, that ABC Chartered Accounts. And you can add your firm's name here, uh, firm registration number, name of the partner. You can add membership number. All the details you can give here. You can also give the name of the authorized person, designation, what is the designation you have given, whether that company is a private limited company, individual company. Give these basic details here, give these basic details here in the data entry sheet. Then you can add your team member's name here, who is the partner, who is the manager, who is the team lead, article assistant, audit assistant. You can edit all the things here. There's no problem. Unlike the earlier sheet, what we saw, it was not editable except the yellow fields. It is also important to record the name of the auditee team, whoever is your client, who is CFO, who is manager there, who is accountant there. So whenever you are taking the documentation from their side, you can have their initials also as on the record. and you can identify and cross check whether he has really signed, whether he has really made the initials here. So this is one of the very important start of the documentation. Data entry document is here. Then you will see here now the index is auto built for you. Smart Tools Manufacturing Company, AY is there. Then whether audit applicability is there, appointment letter, it will create for you. I will just show you all things in detail. Then engagement letter, audit plan, materiality, test check, what you are trying to cover in during the audit. Then clause-wise reporting is here. Clause-wise reporting documents are being prepared. Then if you see from clause 1, all the sheets have been designed in a very settled manner and where the information is really required. So then you go to trial balance. Friends, I'll have to uh, I have often observed that a lot of times there is documentation not complete in our file. So when you see final trial balance, signed trial balance managed by the management, if I whenever I go to peer review and I ask for the trial balance signed by the management, so even that document is not there in the files of the SAC, files of the our firms. So uh, that basic documentation we are lacking, and that's why I have tried to give this documentation tool to you. Then there is also observation sheet, query sheet, cash verification docket is there, stock verification report is also there, prepared for you. Then cutoff procedures. There are a lot many times we have to see after 31st March also a lot of reporting, lot of events are there. So we need to take cognizance of those events, and based on that our reporting will also change. For example, 43B is there, GST paid, payable, whether when it was paid, how much it was paid. So based on that, you will ascertain the disallowance or allowance to be made to the SSA. So cutoff procedures are also really important. Then DSC authority letter under Information Technology Act, it is mandatory to have such letter because we are uploading very important documents on the portal, like income tax return is there, tax audit report is there, also 15 CACB. Then we also often upload companies annual accounts. So all these details we upload from our IP address to the respective government site, and we need to really ask a question to ourselves that do we have a DSC authority letter of our client, and after which only we are uploading such returns or documents. So that letter is also been prepared. uh, then management representation letter is also there. Then UDIN checklist is also prepared. UDIN checklist is very important document because uh, uh, number of times it happens that small error is there while generating the UDIN. Under the tax audit, some different certificate has been generated or different heading is been given while generating the UDIN. So to avoid all these details, we have prepared this thing. We will see one by one. As we have seen the data entry, data entry is the very crucial document. You have to enter these details. Friends, also you can reset. I have given a reset tab here. You can reset while shifting to your new client. Then you can reset the tab here. Then all the details will be reset, and you can use this sheet as a fresh sheet for the next client. Then audit applicability is there. So whenever you are in dilemma whether tax audit applicability is there or not, you can refer this sheet, and based on that result will get to you. And this is the starting point of any audit, whether that was really required or not. You can ascertain here. Then you see here the smart tool manufacturing company name itself is there now. It has changed now. ABC company, your address will also be auto populated from the data entry column. it says that appointment letter for the year 23-24, AY 24-25. We are appointing you as an auditor. You can refer the meeting date here, give the remuneration, whatever you can do, whatever you need to edit, you can edit here. Friends, lot many times what happens is we file the audit report, we file the income tax return, and there is a notice under section 143(1), or there is a difference while generating the intimation. That work also we are doing for free of cost for rectification of that 143(1). So we need to really ascertain what is our scope in the written document only. So this might be helpful to you in a big way. So this is appointment letter. Next is the engagement letter, where your scope is there. You can define your scope, add, edit, delete required rows. So in-depth scope has been given here. Then going to the audit plan. Friends, you can every time you can if you have to go to index, you can go to back to index. That column is also, that option is also given to you. Then audit plan is there. When you are starting the audit, who is the audit coordinator? The name will follow from the list of the auditee. Whoever is the person coordinating from the client, his name will come from this in this drop box. Then audit team members will also come here. Total number of days planned. Then who the scope of work is given. Who is supposed to do what? For example, your staff is not aware of what things I have to cover during conducting the tax audit. Then maybe this document is very useful to them. Cash book vouching, bank book vouching. The basic scope I have given. I have not tried to make it very complex document. Basic scope I have given. You can select a team member who has completed, who has done that work. You can also give remark here that whether it is completed, not completed. Based on that, you will move on to the further sheets, means based on the audit carried out by the respective person. Friends, this is very important document, audit planning and covering the scope of the work, mentioning who has completed, what work he has done, because from documentation purpose, we need to have such documents. I know there are a lot of firms where only 3 or 4 staff members are there, but at least you can have this data with you, so that your firm is assured of having documentation to a certain extent. So, friends, it's a high time that we should follow such type of documentation at our firm level. Then materiality, we have mentioned. We try to do very accurate working at our client's end in terms of entry part is there, in terms of giving the provisions, making the provisions, calculation of the depreciation, all sort of effort we make at the client place, but we forget to do the documentation. We invest our time in making that in doing that perfection, but what at the cost of our documentation. So this sheet is very important in terms of materiality. Let us say you are not vouching invoices more than 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, whatever is your materiality level based on your client. You can define your materiality, and even if suppose in future there is any error or there is any problem, and that problem is less than your materiality level, you will not be held responsible. And at least that documentation is with you, so it will be a very guiding factor for you. Also, I have mentioned the extent of areas which you can add on here. For example, you can add after the revenue of operations, further in other income, purchases, direct expenses, indirect expense. You can add a lot of things here, purchases of fixed asset. Then you can also add details about cash verification, inventory verification, to what extent you have done, number of total transactions, how much was the value, how much sample you have selected, how much value of sample, what was the value of sample. You can select all these things. So up to this is the planning and the execution part, planning part here up to the materiality. Then the execution part will start, where details, friends, you are having all these details, you are directly entering these details into VCD, whatever software you are using for filing of the tax audit reports. But this data is there already with you, but it is not, there is no mechanism to identify who has prepared, who has reviewed these documents, whether it was submitted by the client, and what was the basis on which you have reported these details. So that's why this effort, clause-wise documentation is there. So further ABCD up to this, all our clause-wise details we have mentioned. You can refer that sheet, and based on that, for example, this EPF, Provident Fund ESIC calculation is there. So you can add proper details here and accordingly calculate the disallowance. Then TDS. So clause-wise details are there. I need not ponder upon these clauses because you are expert in this area, but I'm just trying to show you the documentation, what kind of documentation you can have at your firm's end. So these are all the clause-wise details. Clause 40 is there, 44, clause 44 is also there. Then after completing that clause-wise working, you will now have the final trial balance document. You put your trial balance here, copy paste here for the future use. Then I've given some formats of observation sheet, area-wise observation sheets. You can do at your end. You can take the printout of this and accordingly ask your team members to fill in the details. Then I've also given query sheet format, so that what was the voucher number, what was the heading, what was your observation, what is the management response. So all these details you need to have for a documentation purpose. Then cash docket, as on 31st March 2024, you are certifying that this much was the cash, but you do not have the denomination from the client. What was the denomination? 500, 200, 1000, 100. So this kind of denomination also you can take from the client, and so that for your future use and documentation. Then also stock audit verification. If you are carrying out sample basis 100%, whatever your firms decide, based on that, this report I have given a sample report also. What safety measures you should have, what was the observation. So all in all, it will be a value added service also to your client. Then cutoff procedures we have discussed. What was the transaction you had covered for to ascertain the cutoff procedures. Then uh, the the important document we talked about is DSC authority letter. You can have this DSC authority letter with you. It will be ready-made format once you put details in the data entry column. Then management representation letter will also be auto built for you here. You just have to put the red ones here. What was the change? Maybe the based on client, you can change these details. So annexure wise, we have tried to cover here. The clause wise reporting we have tried to cover here. Apart from that, you can also take few certificates from the client. That is the stock of your trading balance, close or manufacturing balance, manufacturing stock, trading stock, finished goods. Based on that, you can take the stock here, the supporting for the stock. Then cash verification, we have discussed this. You can take all these details to you in your management representation letter. Then the UDIN document, So this will be also auto-populated document. Once you fill in, you will have to fill in the email and PAN number. It will all come up there. What was the date of signing, the turnover, the net profit. It will come directly calculated from the Excel sheet only. It will pop up. These amounts will pop up. So you can fill in the details in this UDIN document and take the printout and then only generate the UDIN. This is what I will suggest for you. So, friends, this is my small effort to make the documentation uniform for tax audit. You can use this utility. Friends, I understand that a lot of tasks have to be completed during your tax audit work. Not necessarily you will be completing this by 31st of August, the 30th of September. But as per the standard on auditing documentation, you can create your working paper file within 90 days from the signing of the report. So that ample time is available with you. After uploading also, you can fill in these details, make sure that these details are matching with what you have uploaded, and based on that you make the documentation. I will be really glad if you use this documentation. It is not like that it is a 100% 100% correct document, but whatever from my experience, our firm experience, we have tried to give you overall perspective what documents we should have for carrying out the tax audit. So this is about the second utility which we were discussing. Now we will move to the third utility about the corporate audit and compliance tool. So friends, lot of lot many times I have observed that clients are the firms are not really equipped with the reporting part. They on the date of signing they understand that uh, the Caro report was applicable, the cash flow was applicable, some points for internal audits were applicable, but those were not taken care while reporting or while making your report. So it makes us, it puts in a very difficult situation for the audit firm. And at that time, we should be, so to minimize this kind of situation, we have prepared one tool, corporate audit compliance summary tool. So I'll just show you. Yes, I hope my screen is visible to you. So friends, this is also a very useful utility for CA firms who are carrying out the audit of companies. So as per Companies Act, there are so many provisions which are applicable to the client, which we need to understand at the start of the audit only. So when you start the audit, you need to know your deliverables. Once the deliverables are understood, you and your teammates will work and be focused on that particular work, because we complete the audit, but suppose audit has been done in a 100% proper manner, wonderfully team has performed, but suppose few points which were to be reported are not reported, so there is no meaning, or there is no use that whether the client your team has worked very well or not. So it might go, the efforts might go like wasted unless the reporting is perfect or proper. So for this, we have created one corporate audit compliance summary, wherein also in this also data entry sheet is there. So in which you can enter your chartered accountant firm's name, name of the client for which you are applying this utility. Again, the reset button is there. You can reset entire data. Uh, then address of the company, SIN number. You can add here the type of company, which company it is, public company, listed company, unlisted company. Based on that, your results will be generating. Also, the financial year end, which financial year end is it is for tax audit purpose. Also, the tax audit applicability checklist is also inbuilt here. So you can refer it is whether it is a business or whether it is a professional service. So you have to put here the turnover for last 3 years, paid up capital, net profit for last few years you have to put here. So once you fill in this data, result for this 9 reports, 9 plus 5 plus 1, that is 15 reports, 15 checklist will be auto-populated for you, which contains about Caro. The first checklist is about company's audit report order 2020. It will also show you the applicability. Then cash flow, whether the cash flow statement was applicable, whether it is a small and medium company, the internal audit, the applicability of cost audit, maintenance of the cost records, secretarial audit, review of Ind AS, internal financial controls, then corporate social responsibility, XBRL filing, NFRA compliance, appointment of independent director, appointment of women director, and lastly is the tax audit. So friends, you can see here the detail wise, though if you change the name, like now it is ABC Chartered Accountants, I'll just write EQR Chartered Accountants. So and the company name also I'll edit here. So let us say it is LMN Services Private Limited. So the address is mentioned here. So result summary will get PQR and Company Chartered Accountants LMN Services. Result will start fetching here. So you will put the details here, whether it is insurance company. For Caro, we will check banking company is there, whether one person company is there. So yes, no, you have to just put here and result will get auto populated here. The red column, the red line you can see here, it will show whether applicable or not applicable. Based on that, you start your work, you plan your audit work accordingly, because there are almost 21 clauses in Caro, and the supporting documents which has to be collected, they are enormous. So at the start of the audit only, if you know the Caro is applicable, cash flow is applicable, you can start reporting in a proper manner at that time. Then going further, cash flows is there, whether the cash flow has to be given in the financials. Then whether it is a small and medium company, if yes, if the result is yes, then a lot of relaxations are there while reporting. You can skip the segment reporting, also the lease disclosure. So we have given that relaxations also here for you. Then internal audit, whether the internal audit is applicable to your client. It has been also given cost audit records, then secretarial cost audit records and audit, both are given in the same checklist only. The result will come in this column. The maintenance of records and maintenance of applicability of the cost audit will come up here. Then secretarial audit is also covered here. Friends, what I would like to share here is uh, there are things which are not applicable. Majority of the things will not be applicable to your client, but still, why it was not applicable, this documentation at least you and your team should know, and because we have to keep documents for 7 years, 8 years document we have to keep. So based on that, who has prepared, who has reviewed this applicability. So if this sort of documentation is there, definitely there will be a better environment in our firm. Lot of other problems we can skip by maintaining this type of documentation. Then Ind AS applicability is also there. Then IFC applicability is also there. So then CSR applicability. I have seen so many clients, so many firms not reporting this peer CSR activity. I have seen this in my peer review. So other problems are also like there when the your firm is getting peer reviewed. So then maybe if you are not reporting about CSR, then there will be, of course, fingers pointed on the documentation and the level of reporting which was done during the audit work. So then XBR is also there, NFRA, whether it was applicable or not applicable. Then going further, whether the independent director is required on the company, whether the appointment of women director is applicable. Then we have seen the tax audit also here. So all these things we have tried to cover, which are applicable to a private limited company. Majority of the reporting part we have tried to cover. One or two might not have considered, but definitely you can share your feedback. We will add those things in further versions. So, friends, this is our small effort. Apart from that, uh, I have also published one Caro compilation for 23-24. You can check the file and you can download it also from my website abhishekdhamne.com. So this is the Caro compilation. It contains about 20 listed companies compilation of the Caro report, where it will be showing the clause-wise reporting done by those respective 20 companies. So when you start reporting in the uh, you want some reference while choosing the language, while choosing the words, while finalizing your Caro report. At that time, you can definitely refer this. I'll just show you the companies which we have selected. So here is the applicability flowchart. Also, we have given the basic entire Caro text we have attached here for your ready reference. Then these are the companies like information technology sector. Wipro is we have selected. Consumer foods we have selected. Britannia, paints, automobile, defense. So all type of companies you can correlate your client the type where which he is into. You can accordingly select and understand uh, the requirement of Caro and how they have reported and how you should report. Maybe you can take, choose the wording, language, and accordingly in your report. So, friends, this is it from my side. Definitely, if there are any other questions, uh, I'll just check. Hold on. Which type of other tools? Yes, sir. We are. Snehal has asked whether which type of other tools. We are in the process of developing a very uh, uh, a very solid document for corporate clients for reporting from entire start from the audit report to MRL. We will be shortly coming up with that. Then templates are available. I'm not sure whether it is available on ICA portal. Then how you can download the utilities. Yes, I'll just write in the chat box the name of the website. From that, you can download the utilities for you. Um, yes, there are no major question as such. So friends, yes. So with this, uh, if there are, if you wish to add your views, you can raise your hand. I'll add you as a participant in this webinar. Yes, Rakesh, you can unmute yourself and share your views. हेलो राकेश जी, राकेश हेमनानी जी. Uh, CA Vishwanatha Prabhu, you have raised your hand.
Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Actually, you were this what you have told about 43 BA and
Yeah.
all this corporate audit, CARO
Yeah.
complaints are very excellent, sir.
Yes.
So
Thank you, sir.
I
Yeah.
think whether we can download all these formats from your website, sir. Actually,
Yeah. You can definitely download. I've given my website details.
yeah,
So yeah, you can
yeah.
definitely.
I'm very thankful to you for your.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for your feedback. Thank you. Rakesh ji, would like to. Are you there? Yes. All right. Yes, thank you, friends. It is 6 o'clock, and I had promised that 5 to 6 only we will have. I know you are busy with your this tax audit season. I wish you all a very happy tax audit filing season and stress-free tax audit season. So, with this, thank you so much for logging in. Please do refer my site, share your feedback. Your feedback is of immense importance to us, and on that only we can uh, give more inputs for you on that. So last, Deepen, you would like to add something before we wind up? Deepen Kapadia.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, sir. There
Yes.
is one question which I have posted already in the
Yeah.
question and answer.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Yeah. Is it compulsory to report and interest disallowance? What if client has not provided? Sir, if client has not provided, use option C of audit report template given I have given to you, because you cannot go in the books of the client and make the entry. You just have to do your analysis and calculate the interest. You can say that this much interest was provided short by the assessee, and to that extent our report is that subject to that thing, our report has been like it is not true and fair to that extent.
Qualified.
We can say, yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, sir. Thank
But
you.
for 43 disallowance under 43 BH, there cannot be any dispute. Whatever you have reported, that has to be there in their computation sheet.
Does that mean that interest will get added to the income?
Of course, indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Uh, yes. Balance sheet format, Saurabh Ladha, we will be sharing very shortly. I was supposed to do it today itself, but the lot of macros and formulas are to be given and they have to be checked. Then only we can roll it out. But definitely give us 2 3 days time. We will roll it out shortly. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, friends, for attending. I'm really glad that I could contribute or help guide you on this topic. Thank you so much. Yeah.